members of the LGBTQ community to the front of the room. Now, typically, I don't like to air dirty laundry in public. However, considering the divisiveness and destructiveness of this video that I'm about to show you, I felt that it was imperative to have a voice of reason respond to it. So, trigger warning, and have a look at this, and I'll be right back.
The LGB community needs a divorce from the TQ plus. Not a separation, not a break, a full-blown, court-stamped, assets divided, move out by Friday, divorce. Because we need to make something very, very clear here. LGB, that's just sexual preference. Yeah, me as a guy, I just like other guys. That's it. Not a pronoun party and not a gender celebration. Just good old-fashioned same-sex attraction. That's it. Now the TQ plus, oh, that's not a sexual preference. No, no, no. That is an identity crisis center with a revolving door. You walk in as she, her, and come out as a two-spirited they, them dragon king. What? LGB says love is love. The TQ plus says, yeah, I'm a non-binary lesbian with a penis, and if you don't date me, you're a bigot. I'm sorry, but when did being gay turn into navigating someone else's delusions? Yeah, I didn't sign up for that shit. We used to fight for acceptance, now we're being guilt-tripped into co-signing on someone's fantasy. I don't think so. Let me tell you something. I didn't come out of the closet just to be shoved in another one. I know the difference between a man and a woman. So yes, the LGB wants a divorce stat. I'm just saying what's on everybody else's mind, and it's been long overdue.
Yeah, so that happened. Listen, I don't even really know where to start, so I'm just gonna dive in head first. And I'm gonna ask, who wants to tell him? Does anybody want to let this little old lost soul know what the truth really is? Because he's definitely lacking in his history, and clearly he don't know how to use Google. Maybe somebody ought to teach him. While you're out here pandering with this pick-me-ass behavior, trying to get this right-wing group to accept you as one of their own, I hope you understand that they will never see you as anything other than a they, them. And they will use you until they use you up to help push their narrative. While they are working behind closed doors to make sure that the next move they make is to rescind your right to marry and other civil rights. Another little reminder for you, they don't acknowledge trans women as women. You know what they see them as? They see them as gay men like you and me with wigs and dresses on. So deduce that, and you'll see that they still see you as the problem, which is why they're never going to pick you. Now, back to that history lesson that you are in such desperate need of. The symbolism and power behind that flag that you have behind you wouldn't mean anything near what it means today without black and brown trans women, while gay men like you fought tooth and nail to keep them ostracized from the community, including not even wanting them to come into the same bars as they were in, knowing that those were the only safe spaces that people like us could congregate. They are the ones that put their trans bodies out on the front lines and were brutalized, beaten, incarcerated, and in so many cases killed. So you could have the right to sit up on this phone and record the nonsense that you just recorded. And you want to divorce from them, what, now because you have rights, you want to try to forget how you got them? Not on my watch, sir. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you don't know what the Stonewall riots are, right? Well, let me just help you out a little bit. And I got this from a simple Google search, although I already knew this information, but I just wanted to show you how easy it would have been not to make a fool out of yourself. The Stonewall riots were a pivotal turning point that galvanized the modern LGBTQ plus rights movement, transforming the fight for gay rights from quiet assimilation to loud and militant activism. While not the first act of LGBTQ plus resistance, Stonewall is widely regarded as the event that launched the gay liberation movement in the United States and sparked a wave of activism around the world. Now, you may say, well, that's great. How is that relevant to his argument? Well, let's find out who was at the forefront of the Stonewall movement. Marsha P. Johnson, a black trans woman and drag performer, was a central figure at Stonewall. You guys can pause to read this because I need to make sure this video is not too long. Sylvia Rivera, a Latina trans activist, was just a teenager when she participated in the Stonewall riots. Miss Major Griffin Gracie, a black trans woman, was also a Stonewall veteran who was injured by police during the riots. She later became a leader in the trans justice movement, advocating for incarcerated transgender women of color. And for those of you that are visual learners like myself, this is Miss Marsha P. Johnson, American activist, born August 24th, 1945, died July 6, 1992. Sylvia Rivera, born July 2nd, 1951, died February 19th, 2002. Miss Major Griffin Gracie, born October 25th, 1940. And it looks like she's still living. I didn't know this. 84 years old. I want you to take a look at this. Born in 1940. You want to act like trans people just showed up on the scene? Baby, no, they've been here from the beginning. Where are the queens that look like you at the forefront of this movement? They look visibly absent, if you ask me. And you have the audacity to fix your lips to say you're saying what everybody else is thinking, but just don't have the courage to say, no, baby girl, you ain't speaking for me and you ain't speaking for a host of other LGBTQ plus members. Now, you might be speaking for some, and you all have that right to have your own opinions, but you're never going to be entitled to your own facts, beloved. We would be a generation behind still fighting for our rights if it had not been for black and brown trans women. And any of us with common sense knows that, and any of us with a shred of research ability could find it just like that, the way that I did when I looked on Google. These folks that you tap dancing so hard for, they see you as an abomination. They see you as wicked, vile, nasty, and disgusting. Baby, they're never gonna see you on the same level as them. And if you got your way and you were able to divorce trans and queer people from our community, you would be playing right into their hands, because it would have become much more easier and probably almost inevitable for them to finally erase your existence. And one last thing before I go, I'm pretty sure it won't be a surprise to anyone that you're a Donald Trump supporter.
You might not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. This one goes out to all the clowns screaming, release the Epstein files.
You lose all credibility when you are trying to protect a man who is protecting pedophiles. Because there's only two types of people that's out here trying to protect pedophiles. And that's either someone who is soulless or is one themselves.